What is up, guys? Welcome back to the channel. So today's video, we are doing a walkthrough and talk about everything that's done to my 03 Cobra. If you guys are new to the channel, welcome. You know, maybe consider subscribing because we got lots of cool content. We got this car right here, my 03 Cobra, and we also have the daily, the 05 right over here. So yeah, guys, please be sure to drop a like. It helps the channel out a ton, and consider subscribing if you're new. But nonetheless, let's hop into this video. So let's start off with the front here. Up front, we got the good old heating. Just kidding, it's just an Eaton blower. We also have the C&L cold air intake, the BA3000 MAF. It has a 4-pound lower. It's a stock upper pulley. For those wondering what power this makes, on 91 winter blend, this car made on only 11 pounds of boost. It made 462, 456, which my tutor Mike Post at Dynotune MP, fantastic guy, love his shop, does amazing work. He said that this is probably the most power he's seen from what is possibly a stock Eaton. As you guys can see, there's no sort of badging or stamping on the blower itself, so it's difficult to say if it's ported or not. The other option is that we could be possibly looking at, who knows, maybe a bump in compression. This car has a lot of mysteries, unfortunately. The path to previous owners, the guy I bought it from, Adam, fantastic guy, shout out to him. The trail after that or before him kind of goes dry. They don't appear to have social media, so I can't get in contact to get all the questions answered, but nonetheless, this car has treated me right, can't complain. Moving on over here to the front, we have the clear reflectors on the headlights. We also have smoked fog lights. I don't know if you guys can see, probably not, it's kind of dark in here. Also in the engine bay, we have the expansion tank. This came with it. No clue what brand that is, but it does look nice. I just need to polish it up. Front suspension wise, we have, I believe these are the Steeda caster camber plates. It also has the Steeda firewall adjuster. In terms of fuel, we have 80-pound injectors. We also have a Kenny Bell booster pump, so it has plenty of fuel for whatever we really want to throw at it, especially with the stock Eaton. I mean, I think at like redliner at like 6,500 RPMs, the injectors were at like a 30% duty cycle, so plenty of headroom there. It also does have, I believe it's the Fluidyne heat exchanger. It is some sort of heat exchanger. I don't know if it's the Fluidyne or if it's the GT500, but nonetheless, it does have that, so plenty of cooling. Moving up to the front side, we also have a UPR tubular K-member up front. I can't really show you guys that on video because it's under the car. And then we also have the AFS 17-inch chrome wheels. These are very rare. You're not really able to find them anymore. They do not sell them brand new. So these are 17 by 9. I believe the rears are 17 by 10.5. They are currently in the basement, but I like the 15-inch setup better. We'll get to that in just a moment. It is on Viking coilovers. Right now we have it dropped pretty aggressively. I mean, you can't get 2 fingers in there. You could get 1 finger. And quite honestly, I don't think the spring rate's designed to be this low because the ride quality is very harsh. But nonetheless, I prefer how it looks. It's just very chattery and noisy. When you hit bumps, it feels like the car's going to explode because it's stiff as heck. Then moving along the side here, we got the 15 by 8 wheels. It's a 15 by 8 with, I believe, a 4.5 backspace or a 5.5 backspace. One of the two, I can't remember exactly. These were actually designed for a Chevy, hence why the hub is needed an adapter. It's wrapped in a Nitto NT 555R. It's a 275/60/15, so it is a 28-inch tall tire. So it looks really, really good. Again, fitment, 1 finger. And even then you're kind of having to like bend your finger, but it looks really, really good. If you're wondering why it doesn't have the center caps, it's because the center caps are the style where it comes from the back, and because we had to run the little hub adapter, it will not fit. So I gotta find someone that can make me like a custom one because that is driving me absolutely crazy. Another thing we have going on is we have the smoke tail lights. So those look really good because it matches the same color as the third brake light. I also have the weight reduction mod, so you guys can tell. Just kidding. These are notorious for cracking when people put them on. They over-tighten them. I got the car like that. Moving around to the back, quite a bit has changed. I don't think you guys can be able to see under the car, probably not, but it is a solid rear axle swap. So this one has a built 8.8. It is a 327 gear. It has UPR adjustable upper control arms, BMR lower control arms, and I forgot what diff cover it has, but it's a totally different brand. Exhaust wise is totally changed. We still, I believe, are on the stock manifolds. I haven't checked, but I'm like 99% sure. Off-road X, and then we have a resonator style muffler which sounds really, really good. It's, I don't want to say an off-brand, but it's not like a Corsa, Borla, Bassani, like not your typical setup. So I believe I'm like the only person running this setup, and it sounds really good if you guys have seen my other videos. Move to the interior. This is where things get interesting and where it raises a lot of questions, as you guys can tell. Interior is honestly mint. Like, these are some of the best seats I've ever seen. The only thing with the driver's side is that there's this little like hole and the bolstering's a little worn, but this car also does have a 5-speed swap. So I know a lot of you are like, what? All you purists are freaking out right now. This does have a built TR3650. It's rated for 600 wheel, 550 torque. And I believe that because this car, I believe, made 7 to 8 dyno passes while getting dyno tuned. And if it was a stock TR3650 at those torque numbers, I'm 99% sure, especially on a stock 10 spline input shaft, it would have grenaded itself. So I'm very confident that the previous owner was not lying to me. Adam's a straight up dude. Now here's where things get a little weird. You guys see that right there? A little tape, same with right there. So what we're thinking here, and here's my guess, right? Again, I can't get in contact with previous owners, so I will never have a definitive answer. But my guess is this was a nitrous car, or this was a big power car. The reason why I'm possibly assuming nitrous is because we have little holes right here. So I don't know. One was definitely a trans brake, no question. And the other one might have been a nitrous purge, or those little dots there that someone drilled out. Maybe that was like an external gauge. It's hard to say. Having a built motor would explain the power. If we have a bumping compression, if we're like 10.5 to 1, that would make a lot of sense because this does appear to be a stock factory blower. And there's no way a stock Eaton with only a 4-pound lower, making 11 pounds, it should be making 462 on 91 winter blend with a very conservative tune. So it's hard to say. And also, I forgot to mention, that was with a blown FRPS, fuel rail pressure sensor. So we were probably even down power just on that alone. I'll put up a picture of the dyno graph. You guys can see up top, it just completely falls on its face and gets real choppy. We didn't know it at the time, but on the way home from the dyno tune, it totally just went, and I was stranded. And we found out that it was just a stupid fuel rail pressure sensor. Another thing, if you guys notice on the inside, it does have a regular steering wheel airbag. It is not the Cobra one. Quite honestly, I do not care. The battery light was on, and who wants to spend $300 for it to say Cobra? Not me. I don't plan on selling this car, so before someone tries to throw a little fit, really doesn't bother me whatsoever. I drive this car a little bit. I only drive it a little bit, but still, for me, $300 for an airbag is kind of silly when you could just get a regular one. But I get it. There's a lot of Cobra purists on YouTube, Facebook, Instagram, and a lot of them have their opinions, and they're very, very known to do that. So it is what it is. And now here's a fun one that's really going to get to some of the purists. Boom. So I picked this up several months ago. We have for our 70, we have the drive shaft. We have the converter. The guy gave me like all these 2-valve parts and stuff. So I think we have an engine harness. We have an intake. It has injectors, fuel rails. If you guys are local and want this, come get it out of my garage. I don't want it. I've been trying to get rid of it and no one wants it. But yeah, this car, the whole game plan before I even bought it was to go with a built auto. So I didn't care that it had the 3650. Yes, I get it. The T56 is a great trans. Totally understand. But I don't care. The whole game plan was eventually to pull that out anyway, so it does not matter. And I don't care for the IRS. I don't want to deal with having to do the full tilt boogie racing and then worry about axles. Another thing, this one does have, I believe, the 31 spline axles. I think that's what the guy said. I'd have to look back at the article. I know it has, actually, I think I'm getting that mixed up. It has the 31 spline input shaft. That's what it is. It's the 9310 input shaft. So the game plan eventually is to, when we upgrade blowers, is to get this built. I don't know if I'm going to go with like Lentech, Freddie Brown, something. Nonetheless, even if I just have to use this one as a core and take it somewhere, get it built. The stock for our 70 is honestly pretty stout for what it is. So even at these power levels right now, I'm sure it'd handle it just fine. But we're going to go like a circle D converter, and we're going to make this thing pretty rowdy. So I haven't decided what blowers I want to do yet. So many options. But that's kind of the overview of the build, guys. I think I touched on everything. This had the shorty antenna because stock antenna sits 10 feet tall, and it's ridiculous. It is tinted by one of the previous owners, and the tint is pretty bad, as you guys can see here. It is peeling. I have to redo the weather stripping because it's a little rough around the edges. But again, for those that don't know, I only paid $13,500 for this car in August of 2020. This car is a gem, in my opinion, for what I paid for it. If you guys go on, Marketplace or any of the Cobra sale pages, you'll see these are going for a ton. $13,500 with only 80,000 miles with a clean title. Can't really complain whatsoever. I mean, good luck even finding a stock, not even a stock, just a GT with 80,000 miles for $13,500. I've seen so many lately with over 100,000 miles going for that price. So I definitely got lucky. This is definitely a car that's probably going to stick with me forever because this was my childhood dream car. Some guy was like, wow, you chose to pick this car of all cars, this specimen. I'm like, yeah, I'm going to make it my own. I'm not a fan of buying a car and keeping it stock. As you can tell, we'll flip around out here. This car is as well very far from stock. And this one I've honestly done way more to in just the year I've had it than that car that I've had for like almost 7 years. But this is just the beginning. There's a lot of fun stuff coming. As you guys know, I could sit here and ramble forever, but I believe I touched on everything. If I forgot it, I'll add it at the end of the video. But yeah, guys, if you enjoyed, please be sure to drop a like. It helps the channel out a lot. By liking the channel, it pushes my videos to a bigger audience. And the faster we grow, the cooler stuff we can do, and I get to share that with you guys. So anyways, thank you all so much. I hope you enjoyed it, and I'll catch you guys in the next upload. Later, guys.